biggest massacre of young girls in modern.
Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, want to begin by giving all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the lesser great millstone who do well. Peace, blessing to the saints here, Akim, the elect, brethren, pushing the truth 24 to the earth, giving all diligence to make the calling and election sure. This is the brother Kwana from the Great Millstone Camp, Trinidad, coming once again to do a edificational lesson, Lord willing, edifying to the elect to the nation of Israel. And the title of this one isn't peace taken from the earth. Alright, isn't not peace taken from the earth? And without further ado, I want to just get the scripture here. Alright, this is the book of Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6 and verses 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red. Right, and who this red horse goes into? This goes into the people in whom is taken peace from the earth. Right, which biblically is called Esau Edom. Right, the so-called white race. They are the ones who is taking peace from the earth as prophesy that they would. So this red horse is a symbolization of Esau Edom. And just a quick plug to prove that this is Esau Edom. This is Genesis 25 and verses 25, right? Because a horse represents power. And when you look at the military might today that America has, that was a blessing from above, right? And we're going to back that up with scripture. This is Genesis 25 and verse 25. It says, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. So in Revelation chapter 6, it make mention of a red horse, which was just a symbolization of their power structure with the military might, in which they go forth across the world, taking peace from the earth, right? And they call his name Esau. Esau is predominantly the father of the Edom generation, or the Edomite genealogy, or the Edomite lineage. These are the people who is taking peace from the earth today. But this is going back into Revelation 6 and verses 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And it was given unto him a great sword, and that great sword goes into his military mights and weapons of war, right, in which he do use, all right, upon the earth today. As you can see right here, this clipping here
World history
is a clipping from on TikTok, right, where it says now up to 180 girls that will kill, the biggest massacre of young girls in modern world history. And who did that? America, aka Babylon the Great. So I just want to touch some of the comments before I go to the next precept. Right, this is from these girls, Brad Aaron Sodorf. These girls died so Trump could try to change the narrative of the Epstein files. Right, no proof this was President Donald Trump. They also guilty on how they treated these children. It's so heartbreaking because we the people, or them little girls, didn't ask for this war, taking lives. All of this is so unnecessary to take lives. I pray for all in the almighty name of Caesar Borgia. Hey, these people don't understand prophecy. Says it is so heartbreaking because we the people of, or them little girls, didn't ask for this war. Now with this comment, comes understanding, because yes, they might not have asked for it, but biblically it's prophesied that it's going to be this way. Thus say Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But nevertheless, I want to go to the book of Genesis chapter 27 and verses 38. I read from verse 37. It says, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, which he was speaking about Jacob, right? And this is the reason why all these things is happening on the face of the earth, is because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is bringing judgment, and he's also settling up a new kingdom. Alright? So this man who is taking peace from the earth is going to be he's going to be revealed, which he already is, and he's also going to be taken out. So that when the new kingdom is established, the kingdom of Israel, right, the people or the nations, they're going to appreciate righteousness, right? They're going to enjoy the fruit of the righteous being rule. They're going to love it. They're going to love it. And to prove that, right, to prove that, this is Proverbs 25, right? 25, right? Let's wait a quick second. Rejoice. This Proverbs chapter 20. Yeah, Proverbs 28 and verses 12. It says, when righteous men. Oh no, this is not it. Starting from. Salakia. Let's wait a quick second. And I know that scripture, you know. Salak, people rejoice. BEER. There is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people moan. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing moaning, lamentation, right? Woes, because the wicked bear rule. It's not the righteous ruling, right? The people who was predestined to take peace from the earth is made known, manifest today by the things that they evilly commit, which is all good. It's all aligned with prophecy. You understand? But this is who the wicked is. Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, right? They are the wicked. So I just wanted to go back to Genesis chapter 27 and reading from verses 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father. So like read from 37. It says, and Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Now bear in mind, Isaac, who is Yahweh, to those who could receive it, he have blessed Jacob, and he say, I have made him Lord. And the prophecy says in Genesis 25 that the younger shall rule over the elder. But that is not happening right now, right? Because in everything the Lord make one against another. He made the righteous and he made the unrighteous or the wicked. And Esau, Edom, is the one who represents the wicked. He's the one who is taking peace from the earth. Look at their track record throughout history. The track record throughout history have shown that they are the ones who is taking peace from the earth with the countless wars and bullying that they have harshly exercised upon other nations. But it's all good because he was given that great sword for a purpose, right? And he's fulfilling his purpose with that great sword. So reading on, and this is what we've proven, that great sword in Revelation 6, right, was prophesied in Genesis 27, right, on how he's going to live. So let's see. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessed my father? Bless me, even me, also my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. He cried bitterly, like a bitch. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, right, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shall thou live, right? This Esau we're speaking about here is the same Esau in Genesis 25 who came out of red, and is the same person in Revelation 6 and 4 being represented as a horse, because now he's given that power with that sword, with that military might. And this is something that Donald Trump boasting, right? The boasting in we have the greatest army on earth. Right? Just wait me a second. I believe I have a clip in here. Let me just get it real quick.
Once again, that
Right? So this is Donald
the
Trump.
United States
Right? Just
proved
wait me a
once.
quick second. Right? From this come from live now from Fox. It says President Trump told GOP members the United States has the most powerful military, which this is revived Roman Empire, right? This is who we're speaking about that was given that blessing and how he's going to live his life. He's going to live his life by the sword, right? Exercising that power. So this is Donald Trump here, right? Idumean, which is a Edomite. This is what he had to say.
Once again, that we have the most powerful, most lethal, most sophisticated, and most fearsome. It's a fearsome military on planet Earth, and it's not even close. I've been saying it for a long time. Nobody can take us. Nobody. We don't want to have it. We don't have a discussion, but you read all and you see everything else. Nobody could have done that. Nobody has our weapons. Nobody has the quality of our weapons. The problem is we don't produce.
Let's go back to Genesis chapter 27 and verse 40. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that he shall break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So verses 40 and the first line, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And now you hear it out of the horse's mouth of how loftily, right? Of how loftily they speak concerning the military might, which correlates with prophecy, saying by thy sword shalt thou live. And even in Revelation 6, it says what? And it was given unto him a great sword. And this is what we see, and this is what you're seeing being exhibited. You're seeing they're using their might, you're seeing they're using their power, right? Causing catastrophe on the earth, which is all well and good. Because all this is what we're seeing is aligned with biblical prophecy on whom the wicked is, right? And that great level of pride. The scripture said, just bear me a second. I want to get a precept here. Right, so we just watch a clipping with Donald Trump speaking of the military might and that prideful speech, right? So there's Psalm 78. I just Google it. Psalm 73. It says the phrase concerning oppression they speak loftily, often translated from Psalm 73 verse 8, refers to the wicked arrogantly threatening or mocking others from a position of power. And this is what they rule by, right? This is what they cause other nations to feel their wrath by using that sword. The scripture said in Genesis, by thy sword shalt thou live. Because that is the only way, right? The so-called white man, Esau Edom, knows to live. There is no other way he knows to live, right? By the sword, that is the only how he knows to live. A scripture that slipped my mind there that I was going to write to what I have watching outside. This is Isaiah chapter 11 and verses chapter 10. Isaiah chapter 10 and verses 12. Because by this pride, you use your military might to enter into other people's lands and do as you please and say that you're setting up democracy, which everything was for your own gain, right? And one of the things that stood out in that video, which he said, right? Which he said, here it is.
Fast enough, we're going to start producing them much faster. But the United States proved once again that we have the most powerful, most lethal, most sophisticated, and most fearsome. It's a fearsome military on planet Earth, and it's not even close. I've been saying it for a long time. Nobody can take us. Nobody. We don't want to have it. We don't have a discussion, but you read all and you see everything else. Nobody could have done that. Nobody has our weapons. Nobody has the quality of our weapons. The problem is we don't produce them fast enough. We're going to start producing them much faster. But
there is a problem is we're not producing them fast enough, and you think that nobody's going to take them down. And what comes to mind in Isaiah 47? You understand? They say what? They say in their heart, I'm a lady, I sit forever, nobody's going to take them down. But the Lord ultimately going to take you down. But He is set up for a particular reason in which He is fulfilling. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verses 11, verses 12. It says, wherefore it shall come to pass, when the Lord had performed His whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria, which Assyria is another byword for America, aka Babylon the Great, right? And the glory of his high looks. You hear what it says? Of his high looks. This is what is going to come. You understand? For he said, by strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasuries, and I have put down the inhabitants like a violent man. And my hand had found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, I have gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. You understand? This is how they speak loftily. Salakia. I'll just read over this verse here. Isaiah 10 and verses 13. It says, for he said, by strength. Salakia. Let's have a small interruption there. So I'll read over verses 13. Isaiah 10 and verse 13. For he said, by strength of my hand have I done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent. And this is what they think. You know, they think that by through that sword or that military might, that they're going to ultimately rule forever by this. But the scripture said in Job, it says, hast thou marked the way which wicked men have trodden, which were cut off in a space of time, just roughly paraphrasing. And so likewise, this is the same thing that is going to happen to you. It's the same thing that's going to happen to you, because you were set up for a purpose. But hey, the pride get the best of you, and it's all good. Scripture says pride is hateful before man and God, and by such they both commit iniquity. So reading on, it says, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bonds of the people, and have robbed their treasuries, and have put down the inhabitants like a violent man, and my hand had found as a nest the riches of the people. And this is what America do. They go into people's land, right? Take what they want, do what they want, as the scripture said. Who oppress it, man? Let's get up. They use the military might to oppress, right? To oppress. This is Micah chapter 2 and verses 2. It says, and they cover fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So do we oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And we speaking about what? The king of Assyria, right? Which is known today as DJ Trump. Look at the characteristics of this guy, right? It's war and more wars. But this is the characteristics of the whole of the nation of Edom. Because when you look at the history and the track record of America, you will see how much wars they were in, how much wars they participated in, how much treaties they have broken. Over 220 something treaties, right? You can just Google that and you're gonna see that. So going back to Isaiah chapter 10, right? Isaiah chapter 10 and verses 13. For he said, by strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasuries, and I have put down the inhabitants like a violent man, and my hand had found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped it. You understand? So this is there showing the might. But guess what? You is the one who take peace from the earth, and by doing so you use violent. You understand? The violent. Scripture talk about blood and the scripture I'm really looking for here. Right? There's Genesis 9 and 6, it says, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for the image of God made he man. But this is not the one who I really wanted, but you have shed blood. You have shed blood. And so likewise, your blood is going to be shed. Ultimately, in the video he said, nobody going to take him down, or nobody can touch them, but the Lord is going to take you down. The Lord set you up for a particular reason, for a particular purpose, and that is what he is fulfilling right now. But there is a scripture I was looking for, save me from the bloody man. The bloody man. Nevertheless, this was just a quick one through the Spirit and power. How about Hashem Yahushai? You understand? And closing, I'll just close with this scripture here in the book of Habakkuk. Now, you know what? I'll get the one in Leviticus. Let's bear with my quick second here. I know it's Leviticus something 35. Yeah, this one. More one quick second here, Baba Kasha. Salakia is Numbers 35. I know it was some 35, but nevertheless, Numbers 35 and verses 33 says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood hath defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, dwelleth among the children of Israel. So you all have shown yourself to be guilty. You all have used your military might to inflict pain upon other nations, and the Lord is going to punish the stout heart of the king of Assyria. You understand? He is not going to go unpunished. He is going to receive your just recompense double. So don't think that this time, right, it's a glorification of you using the sword as you did in World War I. You understand? You profited. In World War II, you profited, talking about the Rothschilds and them. You understand? They use these things to go back into the land. Bringing forward the 1948ers. You understand? Going back into the land of the Lord, claiming to be the Lord's people, which they are not. That Edomite nation. So you all ain't going to be justified by the Third World War. You all going to be condemned. This is to your condemnation, because to the people in whom you all have touched, they are called. They are recorded in the book in Second Ezra as the Comanians, right? This is Second Ezra chapter 30 and verses 15 and verse 30. It says, also the Comanians raging in wrath, right, shall go forth as a wild boars of the wood. And the Comanians here is representing the Iranians today, or the modern day Persians, right? The Iranians are the Persians today, and they, as the scripture said, the Comanian raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And we just touched on in Isaiah 10, right? The Lord going to punish the stout heart of the Assyrian king. So this is who they raging war against, which today in layman terms would be Babylon or America. This is who they raging war with, and we've seen it. It's all prophesied, right? So you take peace from the earth, and these nations ain't going to take you over no more, because y'all are ushering in, right, the Armageddon, right, in that hilly region, which in Joel they call it Jehoshaphat, which means Yahweh Shabbat, which means Yahweh's judgment, right? So this is what is coming your way. You have taken peace from the earth, but it's ultimately going to bring you to your destruction. So with that, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.